you could use that would have a mic on them.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm just gonna get this chat all fired up, and then I think I heard from our guest, and he said that he's still getting ready. I think that he was on a plane tonight, maybe or something, giving a guest lecture. He said in Toronto. So
Should we do some like hints at who the guest is before he comes on?
yeah, sure. I'll give him a little introduction. He's well, why don't you start? You familiar with him as well.
The first thing about our guest is he was studying astrophysics and he gave up on it.
Yeah, he gave up.
It wasn't because he wasn't smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
It had more to do with how he wanted to use his time.
Yeah, totally.
Or at least that's what he says, whether I believe him or not.
So he actually, I believe, was a concert pianist and a violinist at age 11.
No, he played the viola.
Oh, violist, touchy subject. He got bullied a lot for that, but he was doing that with the New York Philharmonic, and he toured with them for a while, but it was distracting him from his studies. So he went back. He started teaching college classes when he turned 15, it's quite an accomplishment. I mean, I could go on with his. I think that he might be joining right now. Let me just check.
He's a social media philanthropist, an entrepreneur. Now, he stopped teaching college courses. Our guest, Dr. Harley. Oh shit, you gotta turn that audio off.
Oh god. Holy stop.
So, Harley, what made you...
Dr. Harley.
Dr. Harley, excuse me. Do you accept my apology? That was a yes. He always blinks once for yes. And he licks his lips for yes, yes. What made you want to start doing social media?
That's crazy.
Wow.
So have you been doing? So have you sort of been interested in business since you were young, or?
I had a similar feeling. Oh, sorry, I won't interrupt you again. Doctor, what's your biggest inspiration for getting your story out and telling people? Like, what drives you to do that? What drives you to be such an inspirer, you just bring people up out of the dark? And what brought you there? What specific experience do you think, what? I got stuck, but what experience do you think got you to the point where you are?
That's awesome, because I think I had a similar experience. I found your material online, and I found it. I was in a really hard place when I found that, and it helped me get through that, and I think it gave me a lot of guidance when I needed it the most. So I am forever indebted to you and your work and what you've accomplished. So I just wanted to say now, thank you for what you've done, and thank you for dedicating your life to things that as important as the things that you have.
Well, I'm really inspired by your story. I am, sincerely, Doctor. But what do you have to say to the rumors about the allegations in 2017?
All of them are false, really. Well, Dr. Harley, we don't mean to put you on the spot, but Ethan and I, we were watching a video. There's a series of videos on YouTube. They're all from different angles, people with their phones, and there were recordings, and I think it was really clearly you doing those actions that, you know, doing to get.
One specific instance I'm really curious about. This was at the doctor's office in Austin. So the report says that Dr. Blank, his name is not to be released, picked you up and you proceeded to become erect, and then you insisted that he snip your penis. And you forced his hand into snipping your own penis. And then when law enforcement showed up, you filed a claim against him, and this countersuit is still going on to this day. What do you have to say about that? You're confident that you're going to win, and your judge is the best judge. I'm sorry, I misquoted you there. And your lawyer is the best lawyer.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time believing some of the things you're saying, but we don't need to worry about that.
That's not what we're here for.
Let's get back to talking about. So 2005, you were working at Stanford as an undergrad, graduate student doing research as a professor and the dean of the school.
He was a graduate student at that time.
So what made you decide that the school needed a second biomedical engineering division? And how did you end up raising the $2 billion to build that new facility?
You took it out of nutrition. I always thought that their nutrition program was great before it came to an end. Oh, you don't care that much about personal health. I guess your relationship with the dean treated you well there. Unbelievable.
And not to dive right back into controversies, but 2005, early 2006, as we call it when I was doing research on Wikipedia, the Great Peanut Butter Bust. What?
Yeah, let's talk more about the Great Peanut Butter Bust. I like these stories.
How did you personally feel that? Did you feel that you were being taken advantage of by the? Clearly, this is a very interesting topic for you. You seem very alert right now. Oh, okay, sorry. No worries.
No further questions on this topic.
Yeah, no, my bad.
You were great, though. You were. So I guess now would be a great time for you to kind of just share whatever message you'd like to, while Michael and I look over our paperwork and see what topics we still have to cover and the best way to navigate this. So why don't you just tell a little story? In fact, I think I have a recording of Harley telling one of his most inspirational stories. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm pulling it up right now. So I think it's right here. It seems like seems like Doctor is a little camera shy right now. So here's the story he shared pretty recently, actually, on one of his social medias. That's beautiful.
So yeah, I love the way Dr. Harley, I love the way that you kind of incorporate your normal life. You're not afraid to show people, hey, I'm a normal organism too, and I do normal things. I put on silly hats that say it's my birthday, and I think that's awesome, and it makes you very easy to connect with, and it makes your research a lot more, I think, easy, more digestible.
And if there's one thing that Dr. Harley is known for, it's digestion. Good and bad.
Do
our viewers have any questions for Dr. Harley?
Yeah, actually, we did have a question up here. Dr. Harley, I have a question. This is from Burn Adventure, Dr. Harley. What can you say about your bachelors about your weight? You think you look great?
Image is just a physical. Your health doesn't matter. You want to die at a young age.
Okay. So, you've talked a lot about in your recent book, How to Stay Plump in Your Rump. You talk about your diet of eat everything possible and try not to move at any time. Clearly, it's been working for you, and I think that's awesome. But don't you think that?
I feel like, when it comes to someone of such intellectual capacity, physical stature is just a meaningless thing. What is that, a bird? I think he saw a bird. Dr. Harley is a very passionate bird watcher.
It's one of his many hobbies.
He said he comes up with his best ideas while he's watching birds.
In the field. He loves to do that.
So, although you might not be one for nutrition and that aspect of health, I hear you're very into posture, and you really advocate for certain postures. And so I just have a couple questions. What is it about the way you sit that you feel like really helps you? And do you think they would help everyone, or is it just people of the same, as you say it, plumpness in your rump? Wow.
That is very... Now, Dr. Harley, I'm going to do us a favor, and I'm just going to pull up a couple examples to show people kind of what Ethan's talking about here. Let's see if we... Awesome. We'll just open this up. And this is, as you asked before the interview, we are going to be plugging your social media, so people, if they want to follow you, go ahead and check out Harley the Fat Dog on Instagram. So we have some, for example, these are just examples. Let me just kind of right through here. So
I always thought that one back there was pretty interesting. It's not often that you see someone in the academic sphere cross over and also be such a star in the fashion sphere. In fact, I don't think it's ever been done before you, Harley. Dr. Harley, excuse me, I'm so sorry. You just are so personable, I feel like I can call you by your name.
So can I ask what we do a segment on here called Explain That Gram, and so we're gonna pull up a couple pictures from your Instagram, and you're just gonna tell us what was the circumstances around this. So we'll start with your first Instagram post, which I'm sure we all remember. And you said, "Good buck a buck." So that's interesting. I didn't know that Britney Spears was there for that photo. And what about this one? Well, I'm glad the surgery went well and that you recovered okay.
Whoa. Michael, was that a picture of you?
Let me look here.
You told me you had never met Dr. Marley before.
Dr. Marley?
Dr. Harley.
Yeah, well, we've met.
Was this at a party?
Well,
Harley, I don't want to hear any more. Just leave the rest out, okay? You guys were both drunk. It's fine. Can you just go to the next one? I don't.
yeah.
This is unprofessional.
Let's just keep going. I think that's. Wait a second. Hey, these look like your feet.
Those aren't my feet.
What's going on here?
There's never been peanut butter on those feet.
What's going on right here?
Dude, don't worry about it. There was no peanut butter on them before and after this picture.
And what is this?
What is what?
What is this bag in the background here?
Dude, that's nothing. Can we move on?
Is
I
this-
didn't bring up your embarrassing stories.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's the trail mix I feed him so he poops.
All right, that's enough of that segment.
Man,
sorry
Harley's
about that.
Instagram has more dirt than I thought it would, and
Yeah.
not on him.
I didn't intend for that to bring up so many stories that aren't.
Dr. Harley. Dr. Harley. Dr. Harley.
Dr. Harley.
Oh, thank God. I really thought we had lost you for a second there. Oh, you just snoozed off. Sorry, we'll try and keep the content a little more interesting from here on out. That's on our bad completely. We'll ask our editors to snip that part out.
So I have a parking ticket here from just yesterday. I was parked outside Macy's, and I was in the handicap zone for 4.5 hours. Do you think you could get this removed for me? Awesome. All right, I'll talk to you about that later. Thank you. That's great to hear. I've been stressed out about this, but that's awesome that you're willing to help.
I hear that you're a professional wolf interpreter. So you spent a lot of time hunting growing up, and so I just want to give you my best shot. You can tell me how I'm doing. How am I doing?
You know, Dr. Harley and I were talking before the show started, and he told me he's had experience with Chihuahua sounds a little bit more than wolves.
Really? Okay. I haven't tried this one much, so don't hate on me for this, but I'll just give it a yeah.
Dr. Harley, come back!
Oh, Dr. Harley!
Please!
I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it was so abysmal.
Oh, God.
We lost him. You think he'll come back?
I don't know. You might have really pissed him off with that Chihuahua thing.
Yeah, how was it? Do you think I did well?
I thought it was great.
Thanks, man. I I said I'd never tried that before, but I've actually been working on it quite a bit at home with my dog.
I could tell. I could tell.
He's my dog is like he's actually pretty similar to Dr. Harley, except he's extremely stupid.
Well, that's weird. I mean, if Dr. Harley were stupid, then he would probably think that someone yipping through a microphone was another dog.
And he would lay pretty weird, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would lay in a way that other dogs generally don't. Well, okay, let's just take a look at one more thing that I think is worth taking a look at. Let me just open this up here.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking this block of time and allowing it to us, Dr. Harley. We really appreciate it, and I just want to say on behalf of me, Michael, and the viewers, it was a great pleasure getting to hear a little bit about what you think about some of the allegations around you and your past. And after, like, towards the end of this show, we're going to do a quick little plug. I think you have 3 published texts, right? No, 4. Okay. So Michael will talk a little bit about that, then he'll give you an opportunity to talk about that, and then maybe some closing words. But first we'll do Michael's segment.
So yeah, I just wanted to, if possible, just kind of ask, what was the inspiration for? Let me see if I can zoom in just to kind of give you a better idea of what's going on here. What was the inspiration for having your paws like this? Were you unable to support your body weight?
I never saw it like this until now.
Was there a problem supporting your body weight with your paws normal, or? I guess I'm just curious. You look sort of like an eggplant in this picture. Is that
in the least offensive way?
Yeah, no, and obviously I mean that from an expert to an expert. But you know what? Joseph is saying Dr. Harley is all about positivity.
That's a good point.
So I shouldn't have tried it. I shouldn't be bringing you down with this. I'm sorry about that.
With a history as dark as Dr. Harley's, I feel like that's probably the best perspective you can have.
Yeah, and obviously, we'll leave it at that as far as the Oh, I didn't mean to show that. Oops. Okay. So
what did you just show?
Nothing. We'll just move on. It wasn't anything.
So, I guess I'll talk about your 4 most recent books since Michael took the last segment. Your first book you wrote was Being a Puppy is Fun. And obviously it was from a perspective of a younger Dr. Harley.
Uh-huh.
But it seemed like so you have 2 books about your life, and this one you wrote when you were like just reaching adulthood, and it was really impressive feat to have a book published at the age. Mm-hmm. But the book does seem a little juvenile to me, not in a bad way. It just seems like you were maybe you didn't have time to write as much because you spent more time running around or moving in general.
Sure.
And then your second book is called My Penis Turned into 60 Pounds. Which was an interesting one because you never... I don't quite understand the whole book, but maybe I'm just not on the same level as you. The third book, this is a more recent one, was called Where's Toby, Where's Toby, I'm Sad, Where's Toby, Where's Toby? Ooh. Oh. And that book was utter nonsense. It was just like M's and M's and H's the entire time. And I listened to the audiobook and I could not stand it. It was horrible. That was not worth $2.99 at all.
Which we'll take a brief moment here to thank our sponsor, Audible. Guys, if you are like me and you are constantly moving around and you have a hard time getting those books in, just listen to them. Sometimes when I'm at the gym, I just put my earphones in and I listen to The Great Gatsby, Moby Dick, Sense and Sensibility. Don't make excuses this year for why you can't read. Just put it on your phone.
Do you want to do the second one?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, you can do it.
Okay. Our next sponsor, this one's pretty interesting because it's something that everyone knows about, but nobody uses anymore. It's a pretty high-tech technology, not relative to things that we have now, but relative to things that we had like 30 years ago. It's VCR tapes. They're convenient and they're small and they fit in really interesting places. And they're much less likely to break than a DVD. Another great thing about VCR tapes is you can wrap your friends to poles in them and then laugh at them and spit on them.
No, hold on a sec. Let's just stick to the script on this one. VCR tapes are awesome. It's an industry that is not going downhill. We're not dead. We're alive. Buy them. Use them. You probably have one at home, I promise, even if you're a millennial. All right, that's it. That's the words from our sponsors.
Okay, so maybe we can do some like closing words from Harley the Fat Dog really quick.
Yeah, sure. Harley the Fat Dog.
Dr. Harley the Fat Dog. But not really the doctor part. That's just his handle is Harley the Fat Dog.
Yeah, Harley the Fat Dog. Make sure to check him out on Instagram. If you guys liked some of the things that he said here today, or some of his posts, or the way that he puts his feet when he's trying to support his upper body, then go check him out. He's pretty active. Well, active on Instagram. Harley, you
Yes.
asleep? Dr. Harley? Dr. Harley.
Yo, could you put me in a doctor in a private chat really quick?
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry about that.
Look away.
Here.
You're gonna call me?
No, I'm just I'll let you guys. But it was good to meet you, Dr. Harley. I mean, I know we've brushed in parties and stuff, but it was good to finally sit down and have a formal gathering with you. So I'll just let me just see if I can. Okay.
Perfect. So you're gonna call me? I got you on the show, like you asked, and I have a lot of peanut butter stored up and a bunch of other stuff. I know you don't like it, but it's part of our relationship, and I did this for you, so you should do that for me. Yeah, I have like a whole tub of it. I think I'm gonna do between my toes this time, if that's all right with you. Last time we just did the foot, and it wasn't quite what I was looking for. Well, the other dog did it. What the hell, man? So, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, I can pick you up sometimes if you want. I know how you said you like that a lot. Well, do you want to do the peanut butter thing?
Did it look like it? Awesome.
Dude, that was such a good hangout. I was so happy about the way that went.
That's the best hangout we've done so far. All right. Any closing questions from you guys? Harley's all about positivity. He looks very irritated. Scandal. Ethan exposed. Poppy Goat said, "What the hell is going on here?" I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming. What do you?
He doesn't care about what people think.
You can show
He's
no
at
respect.
the point.
We're not
He's
done
at that
yet,
point.
Dr. Harley. Just wait a second, but
You can't persuade him. Once he starts, he doesn't stop.
well, thanks anyways for coming on. It was a pleasure as always, Ethan. We'll see you guys next week with a new guest.
Oh, I think a little snippet about that guest. He's been practicing necromancy for 10 years and hasn't been caught yet.
He hasn't been caught because he hasn't been successful, but
He's always playing with dead things if he can find them, if he's willing to move.
is this Harley again? Okay.
Yeah. All right. I have to take the laundry out of the dryer.
All right. Are you talking to Dr. Harley or me?
Well, he's doing his laundry right now.
All right. Thanks for coming on, guys. He's licking his balls again. All right.